The Indians started off interleague play with a tight game, and in the end, it was the Marlins who took advantage of an opening and escaped with a one-run victory. Today, another beautiful night and a good pitching matchup. Genmar Gomez looks to follow up his strong outing in Minnesota and trip up Anibal Sanchez. Next on Sports Time Ohio. It's a late afternoon start in downtown Cleveland as the Indians and the Marlins continue interleague play here today. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. Miami got out of here last night with a one-run victory, which is something the Indians have been very good at all season long. They're 9-2 now in one-run games. But, Rick, when you look at the Tribe's success formula, draw walks, take advantage of the other team's defensive mistakes, and execute, which is exactly how Miami won the game last night.
They did. They scored 2 out of 3 runs on sacrifice flies, but the dreaded leadoff walk. Tony Sipp comes in to face the left-hander, then he's out. Joe Smith is in. He had a play. If he doesn't run at that guy and just throws the ball to second base, they get him. He made a mistake, a bad throw. It's an error. They go to first and third, and then Ramirez hits a sacrifice fly, and all 3 walks came in to score last night, and that's how Miami won. But, you know, that's how you turn it around in one-run games. They're 13-4 in the month of May. You can see their batting average is up 20 points. Not much to write home about, but their runs per game up 4.5. That's better in the National League than it is in the American League, and they found a combination of how to turn it around and win.
And obviously, they've been pitching well all season long. We saw Zambrano last night, who pitched very well, very effectively. And now Anibal Sanchez going for the Marlins here tonight against Genmar Gomez as we take a look at our pitching matchup.
Well, Gomez had a rough outing two starts ago, but bounced back against Minnesota in his last start, allowed just 3 hits. He kept the ball down in the zone. He had a nice slider, a nice breaking ball. He left with the lead in that game at 4-1, got a no decision, but he pitched very, very well, so he should be back on track. Matched up against Anibal Sanchez, who is 2-0 this year on the road. His last 5 starts, he's gone at least 7 innings, and this guy does not allow many hits with runners in scoring position.
The Nissan Road Ahead pitching matchup. Get to a Nissan dealer for great deals on innovation you can count on. So the Marlins years ago traded Josh Beckett to Boston. They got Hanley Ramirez, who's swinging a hot bat in the middle of that lineup, and Anibal Sanchez, who goes tonight. We'll be back with all the play-by-play action coming up next. Well, so far this year, this is probably the best day we have had for baseball. It is absolutely gorgeous. Game time temperature going to be 71 degrees, not a cloud in sight. Just a very light breeze blowing in from center field as the Indians and the Marlins continue their 3-game interleague series. Marlins getting out of here last night with a 1-run victory over the Indians, and now today Genmar Gomez will go up against Anibal Sanchez. Ozzie Guillen's Florida Marlins are in third place in the NL East, 3.5 games in back of front-running Atlanta. Meanwhile, the Indians still maintain a 3-game lead in the American League Central Division over Detroit, despite the fact that the Indians lost last night and have split their last 10 games. Gomez has taken the field, and let's take a look right now at Ozzie Guillen's starting lineup. It is brought to you by Kia. Jose Reyes in the top spot, then Omar Infante, followed by Hanley Ramirez, who, despite the fact that he's only hit .232 on the year, he's starting to heat up. Greg Dobbs in the cleanup spot, left-handed batter. Then Giancarlo Stanton will DH. Logan Morrison hitting sixth, another left-handed bat. Then it's Gabby Sanchez, left-handed hitting Brian Peterson, and John Buck hits ninth.
The Indian starter today will be Genmar Gomez, brought to you by MLB.com at Bet12 for your iPhone, iPad, Android, and Windows Mobile. Follow the Indians everywhere. Gomez will be making his 7th start. This afternoon will mark the first career action against the National League. So he gets his opportunity to face the National Leaguers. And in his last start, Gomez pitched a very good game. 7 innings, gave up 3 hits, just 1 run. And got a no decision because the bullpen gave it up after he left the ball game. Let's take a look at the Indians' defense, brought to you by Pat O'Brien Chevrolet, saluting the men and women defending our country and watching on the Armed Forces Network. It'll be Duncan in left this afternoon. Now Brantley in center, Chu is in right, Lopez at third, Cabrera at short, Kipnis at second, Kochman is at first, Santana behind the plate.
Angel Hernandez, the acting crew chief. Ed Rapuano is normally the crew chief on this crew, but Chris Conroy replacing him. Mark Carlson at second, Ed Hickox down at third. Genmar Gomez into the line. And the first pitch of the day is a little bit high for ball 1. Grounded in the hole. Kochman goes down to get it and then recovers to flip for out number 1.
Nice play. You know, he knows how far off the bag he has to go. He's in the hole, so he's going to take a couple of steps, slide, and that's like a quick pop-up slide. Gomez gets over there and makes it look easy. He's fun to watch play first base. He has been a treat so far.
Now, in addition to saving each pitcher a number of extra pitches, it seems like, on a game-in, game-out basis, he's also, without a doubt, saved some runs. Here's Omar Infante, 1 for 3 last night, looks at a ball outside. In there for a strike.
Gomez has actually pitched better on the road when you look at his ERA. He has a 5.40 here in this ballpark and just one on the road, a 1.26 ERA.
Swung on and missed. He got him to chase. Swing and a miss. He goes down for out number 2. Gomez gets his first strikeout.
Now, this looked like just a good fastball away. You could see the movement. That ball has some comeback action to it. It's a good pitch. It starts off the plate, comes back onto the corner, at the knees, and he gets the swing and miss.
Strike call to Hanley Ramirez, 1 for 3 with a double last night. Backhanded diving stop by Cabrera from the grass. Had to pull Kochman off the bag with the throw. And Ramirez aboard with an infield single, but that was a heck of a diving stop by his dribble.
That's the thing about that position at short. If you leave your feet and get on your stomach, you've got to get up quickly and have to make a strong, accurate throw. He did everything properly, except the throw was a little offline. It'll go as an infield hit. You have a tendency to rush it a little bit because you know the guy can run a little. The throw was offline, but it was a nice try. Infield hit for Ramirez.
Now it'll give Greg Dobbs a chance to bat here in the first inning. 0 for 3 last night. The set of the pitch, and it's outside, ball 1. Take a look at our league leaders, brought to you by your Cleveland Akron area Lexus dealers. The Marlins, with 45 stolen bases, lead the big leagues.
Well, they were caught last night 3 times by Santana, who had a really good night behind the plate, but they still are by far out in front.
What's interesting about that is it equals the team record for most times they've been caught stealing in a game. And it's happened 9 times, and they've won every game. They're 9-0 in those games, and go figure.
I'm surprised Ozzie doesn't send them to have 3 thrown out so they can try and win again. He likes to remain aggressive, but you're right. It's a weird stat.
And what's weirder than that is Tommy Bowe said the team record, they have 10 stolen bases in a game, and they lost that game 6-2.
Yeah.
Now, how do you steal 10 bases in a game and lose? That's hard to do. And only scored 2 runs. I mean, it's one thing, okay, you got in a track meet and you lost 10-9 or something, but well, obviously they didn't steal home enough times.
Well, that's true. You can't steal first, and
3-1 pitch. Backhanded diving stop by Kochman will end the inning. Now Casey with a couple of gems here in the first defensively with the leather. And the Indians will be coming to bat when we come back. Indians starting lineup brought to you by Progressive Insurance, proud to be the official auto insurance provider of the Cleveland Indians. Shin-Soo Choo, Jason Kipnis, and Asdrubal Cabrera at the top. Travis Hafner, Carlos Santana, Michael Brantley in the middle. Right-handed hitting Jose Lopez bats 7th. Then Casey Kochman, who's had some good success against Sanchez, hitting 8th. And another right-handed bat, Shelley Duncan, will hit 9th.
Anibal Sanchez making his 8th start. He has 5 straight starts where he has pitched 7 innings in the ball game. His problem is they really don't score for this guy. That's why he's had 4 no decisions. Never faced the Cleveland Indians before, so this is a first look for him as well, or any other American League Central opponent.
Chu bangs it on the ground to first, and an easy play for Gabby Sanchez, one down. Our stat of the game brought to you by your Northern Ohio GMC dealers. 1 no-hitter, 3 one-hitters. Only pitcher since '06 with 4 complete games allowing no hits or at least one.
3 one-hitters like Verlander last night. Oh, so close, you know, to a no-hitter. One-hitters are that's what's amazing. Bob Feller had 3 no-hitters and 12 or 13 one-hitters.
12. He had a dozen one-hitters.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Was it Billy Traber we saw throw the one-hitter here against the Yankees?
The Yankees. I think it was one of his first starts.
Now the 0-2. Just missed. A ball and 2 strikes. Though the one thing that jumps out at you about Anibal Sanchez, he is a strike thrower. And he strikes out Jason Kipnis. That is now 52 strikeouts against only 12 walks in his 48 innings of work.
Well, let's take a look at the Home Depot Marlins defense this afternoon. Morrison in left, Peterson in center, Dobbs is in right. Ramirez at third, Reyes at short, Infante at second, Sanchez is at first with Buck behind the plate. More savings, more doing. That's the power of Home Depot.
As Dribble Cabrera with 2 down, 0 for 4 last night, takes a strike. Bunts it. Sanchez with a bare hand grab and a good plant and strong throw to retire the side in order. No score after 1. Brought to you by McDonald's Cherry Berry Chiller. Cherry and raspberry flavors blended with ice and 100% fruit juice. By AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. And by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. Giancarlo Stanton swings at the first pitch from Genmar Gomez here in the second inning, and it's a foul ball. Stanton was 1 for 4 last night, but 3 times a strikeout victim. They really were able to get him to expand his strike zone. Able to lay off that pitch 1-1. Up and away, 2 balls and a strike. He couldn't help himself, and it's 2-2.
That's that good slider from Genmar. Started him off with that pitch. Got a bad swing, and here you go again. That one going out of the strike zone. He chased a bad one.
Now the 2-2. Just missed in a full count. I think Genmar wanted that pitch.
Well, the one thing they did very good about Stanton yesterday, as far as we get a look at this pitch just outside, had some comeback, but not enough. Stanton saw 18 pitches yesterday. 14 were for strikes.
Bang hard on the ground to short. And as Dribble Cabrera throws him out, one away. Our AT&T trivia question this afternoon. Since 1960, 5 pitchers have amassed 70 or more wins after turning 40 years old. Can you name them? We'll have the answer coming up later in the game. And we might even have one of those answers here in the booth live. A strike call to Logan Morrison. 0 for 3 last night. Waves at it, and a ball and 2 strikes. They count on Morrison. Now the count 2-2. Cincinnati had to hold on for dear life, but they were able to edge the New York Yankees 6-5 in the Bronx this afternoon. New York scoring twice in the bottom of the ninth, and they had the tying run at third, winning run aboard. Morrison is out looking. Second strikeout for Genmar Gomez.
I'll tell you what, right on the outside edge, and he's caught window shopping right there. Ball a little tail to it. And watch Santana. He comes up and goes to shortstop because they had the shift off. Not the throw to third base. He wings it out to short.
Gabby Sanchez looks at the ball outside and a little bit low. Swung on and missed. 1-1. Sanchez came into the ballgame last night when Emilio Bonifacio had to leave after he sprained his left thumb. And Bonifacio listed as day-to-day for the Marlins. Speedy outfielder. The 1-1. Missed. Bonifacio with 20 stolen bases was caught for the first time last night. The 2-1 pitch. And a little bit too high. 3 balls and a strike. Popped him up. Second baseman Jason Kipnis is there. And the inning is over. The Marlins go 1-2-3. We go to the bottom of the second. No score. Front. 72 degrees. Indians, Marlins, no score. Bottom of the second. Travis Hafner, Carlos Santana, and Michael Brantley for the Tribe. And this is an Indians club that has endured some rotten weather here in the early part of this season. The guys were really reveling in the sunshine and the warm temperatures when they came out for batting practice today.
Well, this is the way you love to play baseball. You know, you go to spring training, and most of the time the weather's pretty darn good. And you come back, and for about 6 weeks, you know, it's always going to be cold. It's going to be damp. It's spring, you know, and you don't see the sun a whole lot. But when it comes, it's nice to have and nice to feel as a baseball player. So much easier to get loose.
Hafner in a 2-0 count here. Takes down low. 3 balls, no strikes. The Indians, a lot of the hitters felt after the game last night, and it wasn't meant out of disrespect for the job that the
Zambrano?
Yeah, I blanked out there. Carlos Zambrano did, but the Indians hitters felt like they let him off the hook.
They did.
Too many good counts, and they just didn't have good at bats.
Well, he had 14 or 15 2-0 counts. 15 2-0 counts last night. They did let him off the hook. Some balls were hit pretty good, but, you know, Hafner, for example, had a 3-0 count, and he took a 3-0 changeup, a 3-1 slider, and a 3-2 fastball, and he walked back without even swinging the bat. So there was a few guys that they really did let him off the hook. Normally, I mean, if you have 2-0 counts, there's going to be a hitter that gets you eventually, and that didn't happen last night.
The payoff pitch up high, and it's ball 4. So the Indians get their leadoff man aboard here to start the bottom of the second. Here's our great clip of the game, brought to you by Great Clips. Carlos Santana threw out not 1, not 2, but 3 would-be Miami Marlins base stealers. Yeah. Great Clips, it's going to be great.
Nicely done. He's been so much better this year. Carlos Santana, 8 of 25 throwing out base runners, comes out to a 32%. So much better than last year, and you know, the work that he and Sandy have put in is starting to pay off.
Did he go around? They appeal. He did not. Well, and again, Rick, I think the job Santana did last night against a team with a bunch of road runners like Miami.
Yeah, they lead the league in steals, no question.
That really stands out, that he's made a lot of progress, and you hope that continues.
Well, when you do that in the first game of a series, you could also, you know, squelch that running game a little bit. If they come out the first game and they go out and steal 3 or 4 bases and you don't throw them out, your manager's thinking, all right,
game
let's
on.
go.
Yeah.
Track meet begins. You set up the starting blocks right at first base. But, you know, Santana comes out, and it's all in the footwork with him. He's got to have the quick feet to turn sideways and not overthrow and stay turned, and he's fine.
Carlos caught in between 2 balls and a strike. Hafner at first with Santana at the plate. Michael Brantley on deck. Two-one pitch on the ground. Diving stop by Infante. Gets the lead runner, and they do not turn the double play. It was very close.
Good play. Very good play by Infante. Takes a base hit ranging to his left. And I mean, this could have been first and second, nobody out. He smothers the ball, gets up quickly, and they do a nice job of turning the ball and almost get the double play, except that is bang bang at first base, and Santana beats it out.
Going to bring up Michael Brantley. Good hustle by Santana to beat it out. Brantley 0 for 4 last night. Sanchez with strike 1.
You know, that loss last night by the Indians snapped a streak of 5 consecutive opening game wins for them going into a series.
Cuts and misses. It's 0-2, and Brantley was really starting to heat up on that last road trip. But now 0 for his last 9, 2 for his last 12 on the homestand. And a double play ball to short. Tailor-made ends the inning. 2 complete, no score. Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in today's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Nice to see the folks in the ballpark today just chilling in short sleeves. Starting to feel like summertime here in downtown Cleveland.
They had a nice walk-up of about 6,000 last night. I wonder what it was like today.
Well, last night was a top 10 progressive field walk-up crowd of over 6,000. The 2-0 to Brian Peterson. Takes a strike. Peterson, 3 trips to the plate last night. He singled and walked twice. He's just 1 for 8 since getting the call up. Primarily, he's been used as a defensive replacement. Lifted foul out of play. Oh, Rick, it was interesting. You know, last night you and I talked a little bit about Carlos Zambrano and about how he's primarily been a model citizen since coming to the Marlins.
Yeah.
I made the comment that it's been our experience that people don't really change who they are. They can try, and yeah, you give credit to anybody who's trying to make changes, but, you know, kind of who you are is who you are. Ozzie Guillen, of course, got in trouble earlier this year with some comments that he made about Fidel Castro that were published in a magazine, and really got called on the carpet down in South Florida for that. Didn't take Ozzie long. He put himself on self-imposed probation when he came back from his little suspension.
But I put myself.
It didn't take him long, though, to make some news once again. Of course, the NBA playoffs going on. Dwayne Wade, Miami Heat.
Oh, yeah.
He got into it with his head coach on the sidelines in front of everybody to see.
Right.
And of course, somebody asked Ozzie about it, and he couldn't hold back. And Ozzie didn't think it was right of what Wade did. And Ozzie said, quote, "I will kick his you-know-what." Well, I won't say I'll kick his you-know-what, because they'll kick mine because they're bigger than me and I'm older. But I'll take my chances. Some people don't understand our job. He says it's disrespectful
Now, why he's saying it, when he said it, that's none of my business. But for the player to come out and say something like that to me in front of everybody, that guarantees a fight. 3-2 pitch. Lined up the middle. And a base hit for Brian Peterson as the Marlins get their second hit of the day, get their lead off.
What was
man
the
aboard.
reaction down in Miami about that comment?
Well, I think it's pretty fresh. I don't know if Ozzie just talked about this today and it's just gotten out there.
Okay.
The reaction after the Heat game, though, from Eric Spoelstra, their head coach, was that it was no big deal and those things happen in the heat of the moment. But Ozzie said, quote, about that, you know how many players I take out of the game and then they'll go in the back and talk stuff about me? I don't care because I'm going to talk stuff about them. If I take you out of the game, it's for a reason. You think I want to take you out of the game? You think I want to pinch hit for you? I pinch hit for you because you suck. There's somebody else who I think is better than you. He just
he says what's
really
on his
does.
mind. There's no doubt about it. He doesn't sugarcoat anything, and that gets you in trouble sometimes.
John Buck batting ninth, 0 for 3 last night. But certainly I can see where he's coming from because as a manager, as a head coach, you know, there's a certain level of respect you want your players to have for you, and you want them to understand when you make decisions, it's for the best of the team. And when you have somebody, and in particular a star player, blow up on you in front of everybody.
Well, the players are like your kids, you know, and you're with them all year, and you're going to get emotional, especially in the heat of the moment or in the battle. And things are going to happen like that, whether you're a player or you're a manager. They're going to butt heads. It's gone on for, you know, since sports has been played. This guy's in charge, and you know what? I don't agree with you. And then you're going to have some confrontations. And how you go about it nowadays is so blown out of proportion compared to the way it used to be. I mean, I watch players and managers fight right in the dugout during the game.
But there were no TV cameras to
Right.
capture every incident, and there weren't the media to capture every and report on. I mean, the things that you saw probably never even got reported in the papers, did they?
A lot of times, no. But then back then, when you'd have two newspapers in this town or something, there would be investigative. You know, these guys would have to dig for a story. But the writers were like part of the ball club, and they knew when they should say something, when they shouldn't. I mean, it was a trust.
Yeah.
It's so much different now than what it was back then, that everything is blown out of proportion because there's so many outlets, and with the computers and the digital media that's out there now, it's absolutely crazy. You can't say anything now, and it'll in 30 seconds or a minute, it's out there for the whole world to see. It's how fast can you get it to me right now and report it. It may not have to be reported correctly, just get it out there.
Yeah, that's the other unfortunate part. The 0-1 pitch is outside.
I always look at it this way. They're going to deal with it, whether it's you're talking about the Miami Heat and what the Dwayne. They'll deal with it. They'll be ready for the next game. What do they play tonight? Yeah, they play today or tomorrow. And you know what? It'll all go through the house, and they'll be ready to go, and the slate will be clean, regardless of what Wade said and what Spoelstra thinks.
Yeah, they play tomorrow. Line drive right field. Chu broke in. Now back a couple of steps. 2 down. That was a hard hit ball by Reyes, but Chu right there to grab it. Well, let's check in right now with our Katie Witham.
Well, Matt, Rally Alley is returning to Progressive Field the beginning of June. It's sponsored by RTA, and it's going to be great. Outside, a street festival, brand new this year. They've got happy hour beer specials, also discounted food, live performances. It's out there on Eagle Street. Get your tickets now for June 1st and June 2nd. Log on to Indians.com/Rally Alley. Guys.
Broken bat bouncer up the middle. Cabrera can't get to it. And on his way to third goes Brian Peterson. Had he been able to knock it down, the best he could have done was keep Peterson from going to third. He was not going to get Infante.
No way. And you know what? It just creeps through, and there's nothing you could do with 2 outs. They're off and running, so it's going to be first and third. But it's okay because there's 2 outs. This ball skips off the mound, and it looks like it deadens it a little bit. After the leadoff single, a 2-out single, and it brings up Ramirez. who singled in his first at-bat.
So Gomez in a little trouble here in the third, but with 2 outs, he can get out of it by retiring Ramirez. But Ramirez 1 for 3 last night, and an infield hit his first time up here this afternoon. And this guy's not a .230 hitter, so you know it's only a matter of time before he starts to get hot.
Yeah, the cream always rises to the top. As the Indians, they're into their 40th game today, which is, that's the quarter pole.
Yeah.
It's a quarter of the way through the season. So you've got 3 quarters to go, a long way to go, and a lot of baseball to be played.
Little bit outside, not by much, 1-1.
Gomez has been very good in this situation throughout the year with 2 outs. That's a good pitch.
That's a strike.
That's a good pitch. It came back. This year, Gomez has allowed just 2 for 34 with 2 outs. But today, they have been able to get 2 2-out base hits. Have the fish.
Checked. It was outside. No, he didn't go, and it's 2-1. Peterson with a base hit to start the inning. And Fonte with the 2-out broken bat squibber up the middle. And now a 2-1 count on Ramirez. In the air, pretty well hit, deep right field, chewed back, on the track, makes the catch to end the inning. So that one looked like it died a little bit, and the Indians get out of trouble. Middle of the third, no score. Goodyear. Everything Goodyear has learned making tires that go the distance inspires what they roll into yours. Goodyear, more driven. Bottom of the third. Bottom third of the Indians' order. They've had 1 base runner so far. A walk by Hafner in the second. And he was erased on a double play. Jose Lopez 1 for 3 last night. Now the 1-2. That'll even up the count. Lopez has hit in 5 straight. getting a little extended playing time with Jack Hanahan on the men. Hanahan took ground balls today.
Yeah, I saw him out running sprints and things like that. You know, it's a test. You work your way back, you strengthen it up, and you try and hold the fort until he can get back. And Lopez has done a decent job.
Yeah, and you figure, you know, tomorrow's a day game, then you have an off day Monday, so
right.
He's available. If they need Hanahan for a pinch hit, he could come in and something like that. But it would seem like best case scenario, you'll see him Tuesday against the Tigers.
There you
Lopez
go.
with a one-hop scorcher in the left field.
Lopez heard you say come in and pinch hit, and he got mad at you. He says, I'll give you a pinch hit. He drilled a base knock to left field. How about that?
Well, we've talked about it. He's done a nice job in limited playing opportunities. Had the big 3-run homer against Seattle the other day.
Fastball, middle of the plate, down. But he ends up hitting it hard, finds the hole. Indians' first hit this afternoon.
Casey Kochman now steps in. Kochman 1 for 4 with a double in last night's game. Kochman taking it and just misses 1-1. Nibbling a little bit is Sanchez off the plate again, 2-1. And from what we've seen from Angel Hernandez, you're probably going to have to throw it on the plate. Early indications are he's a hitter's umpire today. Kochman drills it into right field. Lopez around second. He'll hold there. Dobbs got to it quickly. And the Indians with back-to-back hits to open the home half of the third.
Looked like Kochman got a changeup there. 2-1 count. Fastball situation. Gets a changeup and drilled it into right field. Good swing. Ball was going down and away. Stayed back on it nicely. Hit too hard for Lopez to do anything, so they have a start to the inning.
So now Shelley Duncan to the plate.
You know, yesterday, the amazing thing, hitters 3 through 7 never moved a runner on base during the course of the game. So they have an inning set up here. See if that can change.
Well, Shelley Duncan's due. 0 for his last 10. And then just 8 hits in his last 59 at bats. Trying to shake loose here with 2 on, nobody out. Checked. It was low. Oh, and they said he went around. First base umpire Chris Conroy, who's in for the crew chief Ed Rapuano. You be the judge. Maybe a tough angle to tell from there.
I know you can't see with the shadows coming off from that angle. You know, I look at this defense here, and I look at a lot of defenses when Shelley plays. He's a dead pull hitter. But nobody plays him over there as dead pull. The only team that really does the shift would be Tampa. You know, where they swing the second baseman over on the shortstop side. Remember, we saw that yesterday.
Yeah.
This is pretty much straight up. In the outfield, Ramirez at third base is maybe over towards the line, but that's about it.
I thought we saw somebody earlier this year that might have gone to that shift. Duncan way out in front of it, 2-2.
Well, that's what he's going to have to hit there. And he's going to have to make him throw strikes with that breaking ball. Sanchez has got a good slider and a good changeup.
There's a great look overhead. 2 on, nobody out. A 2-2 count for Duncan.
A good look at those shadows creeping in, too.
Shelley strikes out, 1 away. Second strikeout for Sanchez.
Comes back with the slider. He's going to force him to hit his best pitch, and that was out of the zone. He got a piece of it and didn't want to swing, tried to hold it up, but could not. So he'll go down as out number 1.
Chu 0 for 1, bounced out his first time up. And a foul back. Now, Rick, I know you have a number of birthday announcements today. I want to send along get well wishes to Sam Redmond, who's home in Avon Lake recovering after surgery. I know he's been through a rough ordeal, but Sam, we're thinking of you. And
all right,
hope
Sam,
you're back on your feet playing soccer and baseball and all that stuff soon.
Get well.
Up and away to Shin-Soo Choo. 1 ball and 1 strike here in the home half of the third as the Indians try to break through. They have their first 2 on, but Duncan with a strikeout. Now Choo with a 1-1 count. And he lays off a ball in the dirt. I'd say in about the next 45 minutes to an hour, the shadows are going to start becoming a potential issue for the hitters. As the shadows creep out toward home plate, they will make it a little tougher for the hitter. But right now, they're still in pretty good shape.
So, in other words, score while you can.
Yep. Choo wailing away, comes up empty. It's 2-2.
He has been very good at staying back and staying behind the baseball. That time it was a slow breaking ball that he ended up, coming off of a little bit.
A little bit low and a full count. Jason Kipnis waiting on deck. Another nice crowd here at Progressive Field. They want to see this offense break through early. And the payoff pitch. And he strikes out Choo. Back-to-back strikeouts. How do you like that? He gives up 2 hits to start the inning. And then strikes the next 2 out. Our injury report brought to you by Elk & Elk. Serious lawyers for serious injuries. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO. Tough day for the Cardinals. They lost 2 guys. They lost a pitcher to the DL and also Alan Craig, who was really swinging the bat well. He goes on the 15-day DL with a hamstring injury.
Boy, he came back hot.
Jason Kipnis bangs it to first, and the Marlins will get out of the inning. So Anibal Sanchez keeps the Tribe off the board, and there is no score through 3. Indians and Marlins no score. So I guess you'd have to say it's a pitcher's duel to this point, which is appropriate because we're joined now by Indians legend Phil Niekro, who's back here at the ballpark and throwing out the first pitch last night and visiting with
strike,
folks.
Too. I threw a strike
yes,
right
you
there.
did.
Do you notice that?
And you did not even throw a knuckleball.
No, it was right there.
Yeah, it was right.
Anybody could hit that out of the ballpark when I threw this. Well, you guys got a good seat right here.
Nice.
wrong
You
with
got
this, huh?
to know somebody to sit here, huh?
Yes, indeed.
Wow, this is beautiful up here.
This is the next best thing to playing. You can sit up here. It looks easy up here, as you well know.
Oh, yeah. I could have hit that pitch. I could have struck him out.
Phil, you grew up in Ohio, right down along the Ohio River?
About 2.5, 3 hours, depending on how you're driving from here to there. Yeah. So I remember when I was small, growing up, and my dad was a coal miner, listening to Jimmy Dudley, and I remember Al Rose and Bobby Avila and Narleski and Mossy and all.
Great names back then.
So when I said to myself when I was young, to my dad, boy, if I ever play in the big leagues, I'd love to play for Cleveland. But that's the only team I knew. And then at the end of my career, I was very fortunate and proud to be able to put a uniform on.
That's right, you did. You won game number, 314 here as a Cleveland Indian?
I think 318, my last.
318?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
And then, the one game that you did win here in Cleveland, you ended up passing the Perry brothers, where you and your brother Joe.
My late brother Joe,
yeah,
exactly.
Right.
That was, a lot of people say, what games you remember, and it was that one, because that goes back to Lansing, my mom and dad, and my sister, and my uncle, and my high school coaches. That was kind of a little High Valley victory win right there.
Well, my family is all from Steubenville, and my uncles always talked about Phil Niekro's from right down the road down here in the Ohio Valley.
Steubenville Big Red and Steubenville Central.
That's right, yeah.
I'll be there. I didn't know you went up there.
Now, let me ask you, did you always throw a knuckleball?
Since high school.
You threw it in high school? Who taught you the knuckleball?
My dad in the backyard.
Is that right?
Did not know what it was. Didn't know there was knuckleball pitching in the big leagues, and I pitched 4 years of high school.
Did it actually start working in high school for you, where the thing was dancing and you could control it like you wanted
Probably.
to?
I lost one game in high school throwing a knuckleball. Mazeroski hit a home run off
you're
me.
kidding me.
Yeah.
Does he still get you to this day?
Every day.
Every day.
But he doesn't remember I struck him out 3 or 4 times in one game in Atlanta, but he doesn't remember that.
Yeah, in Atlanta. Yeah, he wanted to forget about that.
He's looking for a knuckleball.
Dobbs fouls it off.
All right, so who was your in Atlanta? 63 was your first year, right?
64.
64.
Milwaukee.
Okay, in Milwaukee. So you had who'd you have over there? Do you have Euchre as a catcher?
Actually, when Paul Richards came over from Baltimore, brought the big glove.
Okay.
He traded Gene Oliver from the Braves to the Phillies for Bob Euchre's just to catch me.
Just to come back and catch you with the big glove.
And Bob said when he got there, I don't think they care if I hit 150 because I'm going to call this ball pitch in situations where the other guys wouldn't. Torrey wouldn't do it, and Gene Oliver wouldn't do it. And he did that. He said, we're going to lose some games, and we're going to win more. And I led the league in earned run average that year, and he led the league in pass balls.
Yeah. Well, he came out. I mean, he used to go on Johnny Carson all the time, and they'd ask him how to catch a knuckleball. He says, I like to catch it when it go to the backstop and it stop rolling.
Stop
pick
rolling,
it up.
pick it up, throw it back. Right. He made a lot of friends back there by the dugout. Backstop back there. He knew them all by name.
Speaking of the knuckleball, another thing I remember specifically about Phil Niekro was in the 1992 National League Championship Series when Tim Wakefield first came onto the scene and had such wonderful success against Atlanta.
Yes, he did.
You were working for the Braves, and I remember watching you throwing batting practice to them before the game with the knuckleball, and it still didn't work.
I was out in California with my wife and visiting our friends out there, and John Charles called me. He says, where are you at? I said, I'm in California. He says, can we bring you in and throw some batting practice to the Braves? So I hopped on a plane, came down to BP.
Jason Kipnis with a nice play to throw out Greg Dobbs. Heck of an at bat for Dobbs, but it ends with a ground out, one away.
Now, let me ask you, how many other knuckleballers through the years did you help, like a Tom Candiotti, as we're going to put your numbers, 318 wins, as you can look, and I'm sure you know all about it, inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1997. What a treat that was.
Yeah, it was. That was a big day.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
When I was here, Tom Candiotti was here.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
And I worked 3 years with Wakefield. I was on their payroll for 3 years, helping him along. Ari Dickey with the Mets session 2 with him.
That's such a small fraternity. And I mean, How can a normal, regular pitching coach go out and explain or talk to a guy that's throwing a knuckleball? What do you say to him? Jesus, you better float this one.
No.
Off the end. Little man hit it.
Yeah,
big man hit it.
Very few pitching coaches know anything about it.
Right.
I mean, the pitching coach used to come out and say, I don't know what to tell you, but just get the next guy out.
That's right. Here we go. We got some video.
Yeah.
Nice. Now, could you make it go any way you wanted, in or out, to the
At
righty or
times
into the lefties, or did it have a mind of its own?
That was the old Ephus pitcher.
Yeah. Hitters, you know what? I thought it was a treat. Anytime you had an opportunity to try and hit a knuckleballer, it didn't matter. You go up there, and I used to spread out and try and just play pepper with it, because the bigger you swung at the ball, you were going to miss it anyway.
I made a living my whole life not knowing what I was doing half the time. Didn't know why the knuckleball did what it did.
Yeah. You know, the neat thing about it, Rick talks about it being a small fraternity. We have a knuckleballer in the Indians farm system, Stephen Wright. He's at Akron. He's doing a phenomenal job. And this spring, or was it last spring, Tom Candiotti came in. So a guy you tutored is now tutoring a young kid who's trying to, make the knuckleball work for him and maybe get him to the big leagues. So you guys literally pass it down from one generation to the next.
Well, we do. We have to talk to each other because nobody else knows what we're talking
Well, that's
about.
true.
I'm going to talk to the Indians and see if maybe I could work something out and go down and help this kid.
Well, I bet you could.
If they like him, if they think he's got a shot at it.
Well, from Matt, you just checked. You talked with Chris, right? Chris Antonetti, and he says, yeah, he's legitimate.
His knuckleball's really working for him, so, who knows?
Good deal.
Yeah, that could be. There you go. Now, we won't want it commission. We'll be your agents.
No finder's fee? No
finder's fee for you, my friend.
I don't know. Might have to maybe consider that. Something.
2 down, a 2-1 count here for Logan Morrison.
And the guys who have been knuckleball pitchers pitch a long time. They don't get hurt.
Right.
They can start for you. They can long, middle, set up, anything. That's what Wakefield did over there.
Yeah.
Had a great career.
I mean, but taking it in between the lines is a different thing, isn't it?
Exactly.
I mean, but besides throwing it in the bullpen and with no hitters there, but when the game's there, the umpire's behind the plate, bigger difference.
Batter's trying to hit it. Now you got to throw it in that strike zone.
Right.
It's a different.
In the air, left field. Duncan over near the line. He leaps up, but it's out of play.
And there's not too many knuckleball pitchers in the big leagues now. And I don't think too many batters like to hit it. I mean, it doesn't scare them, but they don't want to look bad going up to the plate. Swinging a bad pitch.
You know what? It's an embarrassing pitch to swing and miss. It will make you look like Charlie Huff threw the knuckleball so long. And I mean, it makes people look like a fool. Because the toughest thing to do is sit and wait. When you say that Ephus pitch, the slower it comes, the harder it is to hit.
The further you want to hit it, too.
Yeah, and I mean, the bigger the swing. That's why my philosophy was always, if you stay short and quick, you're not going to look as foolish. You let that ball get in. When you see it high, let it fly. When you see it low, let it go.
What I love about the knuckleball is during batting practice, every guy is trying to throw a knuckleball.
Sure.
They're all messing around with it. I've got a good one. So-and-so's got a good one. Yeah. This guy, his knuckleball is terrible. Oh, this guy's got a really good one. But it's funny because everybody wants to try it. Everyone, I think, is fascinated by the knuckleball.
I've seen a lot of infields, outfields get good knuckleballs, but tell them to go on a mound and throw it to a batter, a catcher, and an umpire, and throw it in that strike zone.
Right.
And pitch after pitch after pitch. It's tough for pitchers to say, I got to throw a pitch at the batter knows what's coming. A lot of guys can't do that.
Yeah. And then you have to hold base runners on, and guys trying to steal bases, and you got to be quick, and you got to give your catcher a chance, and the catcher's just begging to, please let me catch this ball, let alone try and throw out a runner. Did you used to hold it on the leather part or the seams?
The leather.
The leather part. So you had to have strong fingernails.
Yeah, well, I did. I don't know why. My fingernails like rocks. And I don't know why. Maybe I ate a lot of Jell-O or milk when I was a kid. That's what my mother always told me. Eat Jell-O and milk when you have strong fingernails.
It was all that clean air you were breathing down in the Ohio Valley.
Oh, yeah, sure.
That's what it was.
I mean, we get 6 inches of snow, and it's white on Sunday, and Monday it's gray.
Yeah.
I know what I want to say for the bottom half of this fourth inning. I want to save the story about you stealing your only base here in Cleveland. Can we talk about that? In the bottom half of the inning. We've got 2 outs now. I'm going to give you time to think about it.
All right, okay.
Logan Morrison called out on strikes his first time up. Genmar Gomez with a full count here. And the payoff pitch. Did he go?
Ring him up. Come on, ring him up. It was close enough.
Now, let me ask, have you ever seen shifts like that put on other than like for Ted Williams? Were there many hitters back in the day?
They didn't have shifts back there.
Right.
Back there, no. For a simple reason, when I was pitching, I didn't know half the time where the knuckleball was going. So if I could say I was going outside or inside, then I could, adjust the fielders out there. But not on me.
Gabby Sanchez popped up on the infield. He drives one in the air to center. Brantley says he's got it.
And he has it.
He does.
It
We'll continue with Phil Niekro, the knuckleballer, when we come back. We are scoreless, middle of the fourth. The fourth inning for the Indians as Drupal Cabrera, Travis Hafner, and Carlos Santana do up. Anibal Sanchez has shut him out on 2 hits through the first 3. He has struck out 3 and walked 1. Matt Underwood, Rick Manning with you, and joined once again by Phil Niekro. And Rick wanted to ask him about his stolen base.
Well, it was what, 1987 when you were here. Your last year with the Indians, you were here 86 and 87. And what'd you do? Did you?
Well, I never stole a base in my life. And I told Pat Corrales what I was going to do. And he said, I didn't even hear that. Don't tell me. You just go away. Go away. I don't want to hear that.
Cabrera.
That might go.
A drive to deep
get
right.
Out of here. It's way out of here.
Back. He's out of room. It's out of here.
That's you.
As Drupal Cabrera's 5th home run of the year. And the Indians draw first blood, take a 1-0 lead.
Those are nice to see, aren't they?
Yes, indeed. That pitch was up, and he really launched it.
This ball carries usually down in that area in right field.
I heard that. Yeah.
Even though the wind is blowing in today, but he hits that ball well. That wasn't going to stay in the ballpark. He knew it, too.
Yeah.
You can tell those hitters, they know when they hit it, don't they?
They just stop for a second and watch it. Where's it going to land out there?
That's right.
Now Travis Hafner, who walked his first time up. So anyway, as Drupal rudely interrupted you with that home run swing.
Yeah, I told Brooke Jacoby, if you get on first, it's late in the inning, we're 30 games out of first place. I told Brooke, I said, if you get on first base, here's what I'm going to do. He said, yeah, okay, that's okay with me. So you got to walk, and I sent some up to the restroom to get a napkin, and I tied it around my face. I looked like a robber or somebody like that. And I went to first base, and I took off for a second. I slid. Umpire, nobody knew what was going on. Umpire says, you're safe. I said, damn right. What do you think he put me in here for? And I picked the bag up, and I ran to the clubhouse, and that was it. And I got the bag.
Still have the bag.
I got it at the house.
And
yes.
That's a legitimate stolen
base. That
is
stolen.
That's truly stolen.
Could have been a misdemeanor there or something.
Oh, God.
Could you imagine? Rick and I were just talking about this a little while ago. You know, the difference in technology today. Had you done that today, with the television coverage there is, you'd be an international sensation.
I could be Dancing with the Stars. You could pull something like that.
But you see, that was the fun part.
Yeah.
That's what made the game so much fun. You said, I've never done this. I want to do this before I leave. This is going to be my last year.
Exactly.
I'm going to do it my way. You go out and you do it, and to this day, you still have the base and you can laugh about it.
I got the picture, too.
I know, and you can still laugh about it. That's the great thing about baseball.
Well, I don't know, it was a little bit more fun. Maybe it's fun now, but back there.
Right.
You know, I think back there the fans meant so much to us. I mean, they paid our salaries, and I used to love to talk to the fans in the stadium. Mom and Dad and Grandpa and Grandpa that drive a couple hours to see a Sunday afternoon game.
Yeah.
And of course, the big money is the big change. The game's still the same. You got 3 strikes, 4 balls, and playing 9 innings.
Yeah, the bases haven't changed.
No. Ballparks have changed. Salaries have changed just a little bit.
Yeah, you think? All right, what was the minimum salary when you first broke into the big leagues? $8,000?
$8.
Yeah, $8,000. Right.
I think we got, $10 a day for meal money or something like that.
I'm just curious how a kid growing up in the Ohio Valley whose dad taught him how to throw the knuckleball in the backyard felt the minute he stood up there at Cooperstown in front of all those people and took your rightful place among the greatest of all time. Santana with a line drive base hit.
Get through there. Get through him.
Hafner stops at second, and the first 3 have all reached here in the 4th.
I could pinch run second base, steal third probably right now.
You better do it right now.
That was when you get up there, and I get up there and I receive that plaque, and you make a speech, and there's my mom sitting in the front row, and my brother, and my sister, and my kids, and the first thing that hit me was, God, I wish my dad was here to see this, because he'd been gone by then, because he's the one that really talked to me. So all the little times in the backyard we played catch, and my mom sitting there waiting until it got dark to fix dinner, and my sister catching me, and all those things came. It wasn't to win. It wasn't to 100 or 200 or 300 or no-hitter. It was that little town of Lansing.
Where you started from, where you came from.
Yeah.
Brantley trying to lay down a bunt. It goes foul.
And that is true. So no matter who you are and how great you can be out there, it is who you are, where you come from, how you were raised. That's because
that part never changes.
That will never change because you'll always go home and you'll always be Little Phil or whatever your nickname was, or Little Matty, or you'll always be the same guy. You always
Sonny. They call me Sonny back home. If I hear the word Sonny, they're from Lansing, Ohio.
Okay,
or Ohio Valley.
And you'll turn and you'll look. And
hey, I know you. I knew your parents, or rather your grandparents.
Pinching in at the corners, and now time called.
It went in a hole somewhere.
Anybody ever try to bunt your knuckleball? Or would that just be insanity to find?
Pitchers have tried to do that. I hit one home run off of Charlie Huff.
Did you? On a knuckleball?
Yeah. Everybody come up after. What bat did you use? What stance did you use? How did you hit
What's the secret?
I know. I saw it and I hit it.
You know, that's funny because you throw a knuckleball and you didn't know where it was going. You try and hit it, you don't know where it's going. You just swung it and you happen to hit it.
Well, when I went up there, I didn't think knuckleball. I took the knuckleball in my head because that'll mess your head up. I just thought every pitch was going to be a breaking ball.
Right.
It's going to be a breaking pitch. I just got to figure out which way it's going to break.
Just stay back and see it.
So I took the knuckleball mental thing out of my head. And Johnny Bench told me one time, I said, you hit me pretty good. He says, Philly, so I never thought you of a knuckleball pitcher. I thought of you as a breaking ball hitter.
Okay.
So every time he went up to the plate, he figured he's going to get a breaking ball. Which he did. He did.
The speed of a breaking ball.
So they knew it was coming, I learned to throw at 2 or 3 different areas, 2 or 3 different speeds. Oh, spare ball.
Just a little bit out in front of it.
Yeah, as you know, we're kidding is timing, So
right.
Especially if everybody knows exactly what you're going to throw.
Then you change. You have different variations.
Speed,
like that one Ethos we saw.
Quarter, yeah.
Right. And you could do that. I mean, that was the good thing about it.
And then I throw 8 or 9 knuckleballs to one guy, and I throw my 72-mile-an-hour fastball by him because it looks like about 90 at that time.
They're sitting looking for something floating, and all of a sudden, boom, here it comes.
The 2-2.
Get through it. Don't do it.
They go to second for one. The return throw is in time. A double play. Hafner goes to third, but now there are 2 out.
But it's the second time they've been able to get Michael today on the double play ball. All right, now they need a 2-out base hit.
They've been doing that lately, too, haven't they?
Yeah, they've done that pretty well all year long. This has been a team of 2 outs.
Yeah.
You know, they score with 2 outs. And what's that do to you as a pitcher when you're out there, you have a chance to get out of an inning, and now the next thing you know, they get a 2-out base hit. It sort of breaks your back, or they get, you know, they keep the inning going.
Say, give me that ball back. Can I pitch to him again? Maybe I should have thrown him a different pitcher.
Yeah. That sort of breaks your back a little bit when they can get those big 2-out hits. But that's the toughest hit in baseball, I think, to get, is that 2-out base hit.
Lopez breaks his bat.
Look at that bat.
Lines out to first to end the inning. Well, Phil, thanks so much for stopping by.
Thank you.
Great to meet you. Great to have you here. Hall of Famer
good to
Phil
see you.
Niekro with
Thank
us
you.
here. The
Pleasure.
Indians
Pleasure.
are out in front 1-0.
Let's get some more runs.
By Panini's with 17 locations in Northeast Ohio. And by Levin's, home of the CLE Posturepedic mattress made right here in Northeast Ohio.
One nothing Indians on top, 5th inning. This game is setting up a lot like yesterday's. Low scoring, and it's going to come down to executing or a key mistake maybe late.
Well, stay in the games. Both starting pitchers have done their job. Gomez has given up just 3 hits. Sanchez 4. But the big difference, 1 left the yard. And Sanchez had a couple of big double play balls. How about Phil? What a nice guy he is.
Well, you're not kidding. That was a treat.
That'll be interesting. He's going to see if he can go down there and talk to this kid with the knuckleball.
Why not?
We'll have to figure it out.
Like you said, knuckleballers, it's a small fraternity.
And it is a fraternity. I mean, you know, when you go out to help someone, and I mean, you really care. It's a genuine process.
And, you know, when Tom Candiotti spent the time with Stephen Wright in spring training a couple years ago, I mean, it was valuable to him because, as Phil just told you, there are not many people that can relate to you or really help you a lot of times because they haven't done it. They're not sure how it works, you know, what the dynamics are around it. So
I always, felt like when a pitching coach has to go talk to a knuckleballer, and primarily because there's other guys that throw something besides the knuckleball, but to go out there with a knuckleballer like him, and what are you going to tell him? Get the next guy out, like he said.
Guy out. That's great. Well, he talked about when Atlanta called him to come throw batting practice during the National League Championship Series. I mean, think of it, you're one step from the World Series, but you're facing a knuckleballer, and they couldn't touch Wakefield, and even having Niekro throw batting practice didn't help because Rarely are two knuckleballs ever the same.
You know, we went here. I forget who we were facing back in the 90s with the Indians, and Jeff Newman was a coach who had a really good knuckleball as a catcher. He was a third base coach. He threw knuckleballs for batting practice.
Well, it was probably Wakefield when he went to Boston.
It might have been. Yes, it was. It might have been Wakefield. Yeah. You're right.
Because we faced him in the 95 division series and pounded him in Boston. Up the middle, Cabrera throws him out. Peterson is out number 1. Let's get the answer to our AT&T trivia question right now. 5 pitchers have amassed 70 or more wins after they turned 40.
Well, Mr. Negro, who was in here, certainly did, and I'm sure the guy out
Perry, Jim Perry, maybe?
The Spawn, Randy Johnson and Nolan Ryan.
How about that?
Jamie Moyer. Yep.
Forgot about
Phil's
Jamie Moyer.
No, I didn't. I forgot about it when I had to spit the answer out. "120 wins after 40. That's pretty impressive, and it had to be a knuckleballer. He's the only knuckleballer on that list, right?
I believe he was.
Wakefield wasn't on it.
No. I was just thinking of pitchers with longevity like the Perrys. I figured maybe they had piled up a lot of wins.
Well, when you
pitched so long.
Remember Wakefield last year, it took him the longest time to get to number 200.
Yeah.
You know, it took like 8 or 9 starts. They couldn't get him a win.
The 1-1. Swing and a miss by John Buck. Fly to right his first time up. You know, the one thing that really has been impressive about Genmar Gomez for pitching coach Scott Radinsky is his ability to control his emotions in any situation. Whether he's got runners on base, whether it's a one-run game, he just continues, with what they call that low heartbeat. He doesn't seem to speed things up or...
I remember when we talked to him after he got his first major league win. We talked to him after the game. He is. He's a real down-to-earth guy, a quiet guy. When you see him around the clubhouse or doing something, he's never loud. He's got a perfect demeanor.
And he just set him down 1-2-3 right after the Indians gave him the first and only run of this game. Coverage provided today by Goodyear. Everything Goodyear has learned, making tires that go the distance, inspires what they roll into yours. Goodyear, more driven. Casey Kochman leading off the home half of the fifth.
I saw our drivers up here today in the food room eating lunch well before game time. before they went up into that blimp.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yes. They were here, and I asked them when they're going to take me up. They said, well, what time do you got to be? I said, no, I want to go up during a game like I did years ago. Today would be the day to be up there, too.
This would be
man.
ideal.
Spectacular. Or do you want to go up? You
no,
haven't been. You're afraid of heights.
Yeah,
no, you.
You.
You want me to go.
Ground ball to third, right at Ramirez.
Oh, goodness.
One away. Our minor league update brought to you by University Hospitals. And last night in a 16-3 win against Richmond, Chun Chen 4 for 5, drove in 5, 2 doubles. He is really swinging a hot bat for the Akron Arrows. Shelley Duncan struck out his first time up. And that's going to go foul.
Send out some birthday wishes today. Tom Pindro is the security guard here at Gate A, celebrating his birthday. Tom, happy birthday. Mary Melarigano is 78, who's a big Tribe fan from Ashtabula. Tom Daniel of Akron celebrating his 90th. Happy birthday. And also Avis De Luisa from Mount Vernon is 87.
Hit on the ground in the hole, backhanded by Reyes, off balance throw, and Duncan beats it out. An infield hit with one out here in the 5th inning. 5th hit of the day for the Tribe. Reyes showing good range to get to it. But Shelley hustling all the way, able to beat it out.
Yeah, even with a good throw, I don't think he had enough on it. Reyes bounces it over there, but Duncan, by the time it gets there you'll see he beats it out.
So we go to the top of the order now. Shin-Soo Choo 0 for 2 on the day. And that's fouled back. Fastball away. Missed down and in with the fastball, and now it's 2-1. Got him to chase.
Yeah, he's been able to get you to swing at that pitch a couple of times today. That's one where you have the count in your favor. You might want to take that pitch and make him throw it for a strike. If they call it for a strike, nothing you can do about it. But they haven't had much success hitting it.
In the hole, and it's through, a base hit. Duncan hits second, on his way to third. He'll go in safely. And now the Indians have runners at the corners with 1 out.
Well, Chu comes right back, and he's able to put that ball in play. It's a breaking ball, but that one didn't come inside. That floated back out over the plate. Watch where the location is. I think they wanted it down and in. That ball floats back out over. Chu gets just enough of it to get it in the hole between first and second. Duncan, a good job putting the head down and going to third base. So they have runners at the corners with 1 out and an opportunity for Kipnis to add to the 1-0 lead.
The pitch. Kipnis with a fly ball to center. Should be deep enough. Duncan will tag. Peterson coming home with the throw way offline. Chu tagged and went to second base, and he's safe. He missed the tag on him.
I think, no. You know why Chu got in there? He slid directly straight into the base. And I was surprised he went straight in. I thought he was going to stop and let Duncan score. Because if that tag is applied at second base, you know, as a base runner, you got to make sure he scores. He comes, they cut it, and they go right to second base to get the out. But watch Chu go directly into the base. And then he gets the foot in. By the time the tag is, see, his glove got caught on his back cleat.
Yeah.
But if he's tagged out, it's going to be awfully close at home plate to let that run score. I thought Chu was going to stop.
As Drupal Cabrera will be intentionally walked with first base open, and they're going to go at Travis Hafner. Cabrera homered his last time up. And Ozzie Guillen, of course, has all the numbers in front of him. And for whatever reason, Travis has just really struggled this year with runners in scoring position. Just one for his last 30. Hit by a pitch his last time up. But he'll get a chance with 2 on and 2 out here in the 5th. Take another look at that sacrifice fly by Kipnis. You'll see Duncan will get across home plate before they get Chu, but as Rick said,
it's a great shot, boys. Now. Okay, He was in there by a full step or two. That's the one thing you have to be conscious of when you're the base runner. You got to make sure that that man scores before you're tagged out.
And as it turned out, it wouldn't have mattered because Chu was called safe. But had he been out,
Duncan still would have counted. That run still would have counted.
Only because he hustled, never assumed that he was going to score easily.
You don't go cruising in.
Right.
You busted from third base like they're throwing home, which they did.
Now Hafner awaits the pitch. And it's low ball 1. Indians with a 2-0 lead. That's way outside 2-0. Sanchez just over 80 pitches on the day. Now 2-0. And again, this is what we talked about. I thought Zambrano did a good job last night, and Sanchez a number of times today. They fall behind. You're looking fastball. They don't go fastball. They go off speed. They go slower, and Indians hitters have just been a little bit out in front.
Well, they don't know these pitchers like they do in the league, in the American League. But you know what? They've proven they're pitching just like the guys do in this league. If they're going to throw their changeup or off speed, then you sit on it. Now you're sitting 3-1 count. He came back with a breaking ball. All right, what are you going to look for here if you're Hafner?
Got to look for a breaking ball,
look
don't
for
you?
something off speed. You either look for the changeup or the breaking ball. They're not going to throw you the fastball, and if he does, it'll surprise you. But you react to it. So you got to put it in your brain. Zambrano was doing that last night. He was throwing 2-0 changeups. He did throw some fastballs away.
He threw 2-0 and 2-1, same breaking ball. Now 3-1.
Change.
And a full count.
That one seemed to be a little harder.
Yeah, I think he didn't want it as amped up as he threw it.
He sure did. It was 85.
Runners go. The 3-2 hit in the air left field. Morrison back, still going back. He'll make the catch. So the Indians strand a pair, but they get another one home. Through 5, Cleveland 2, Miami nothing. To pick up your Wahoo Bucks $5 discount coupons for the Subway Extreme Fan Zone to an upcoming home game. It's the place to be for a chance to win Subway gift cards, Indians fun money, and get great discounts on your next Subway purchase. Subway, where winners eat. It's a 2-0 Indians lead, top of the 6th inning. 2, 3, and 4 hitters due up for the Miami Marlins. Omar Infante to lead it off. Genmar Gomez has made 80 pitches through 5. And he has not allowed a run. He's given up 3 hits. And he has walked 1, struck out 3.
Well, one thing again comes into play for Anibal Sanchez. No run support. You know, he's had a few games this year where they just can't score when he's on the mound. But it may have something to do with the other guys, too. And one has been Genmar, who has thrown the ball very well for his 2nd straight start.
Omar Infante shortened the bunt but took it for a ball 2-0.
Genmar has been tougher on right-handed hitters this year. They're coming into the game, they were 197. They have 2 of the 3 hits. Peterson is the left-hander with a... Oh, got him. I think it got him.
Got everybody.
It did. That was one of those deflections. Got the hitter, got the umpire. So that's hit by pitch. You're right. It does get everybody. Boom, boom. Oh. That one crawled up the almost to the neck of Angel Hernandez. You see where it snuck in the side door.
That couldn't have felt good. Hanley Ramirez, 1 for 2 on the day, will be the batter as Michael Salazar out to check out Angel Hernandez, make sure he's all right.
Well, use Indians Perfect 10 Flex Packs however you want. You can bring 1 friend to 5 fireworks nights or a group of 10 to collect your favorite bobblehead. Starting with Joe Carter, that'll be tomorrow. Log on to Indians.com Perfect 10 or visit Discount Drug Mart to get yours today.
Second hit batter of the year for Genmar Gomez. Unfortunately, it's the leadoff man. Second time in this game the Marlins have had their leadoff man aboard. Hanley Ramirez flied to deep right his last time up. The set of the pitch. And for a strike. Pirates lead the Tigers 4-2. They're in the 5th inning in Detroit. Cincinnati held on to beat the Yankees earlier today 6-5. Toronto shut out the Mets 2-0. A lot of baseball still to come later tonight. The 1-1. Called a strike. Hanley Ramirez not in agreement. He's down on the count. Nick Hagedorn, big left-hander, up in the Indians bullpen as Gomez closes in on 90 pitches for the afternoon. The 1-2 is hit down the right field line. Chu, a long run over.
No.
Can't get to it.
No, that's a long way. This is the 6th count that Genmar has had a Miami hitter 0-2 or 1-2, and they are 0 for 5 coming into it. So he's been able to put them away today. He would love to get that ground ball double play here.
Five ground ball outs so far today in the game for Gomez. Right back to Genmar. He'll go to second. They get one. Cabrera on to first. A double play.
Exactly what I was talking about.
The comebacker. And Gomez, as we talked before, he doesn't panic. He doesn't speed it up. Just made a perfect feed to his shortstop. Hey, our Ford highlight reel brought to you by your Northeast Ohio Ford dealers. And Genmar Gomez, once again, a very solid outing.
This guy has been a different pitcher this year. He has commanded 3 pitches, has kept the hitters off stride. He's got a good moving fastball, an outstanding changeup, and a very good slider as well.
Amazing how being able to command one more off-speed pitch makes everything else in your repertoire better.
Yes, it does. The more the hitters have to sit back and think about it, the tougher it is, because you put doubt into their mind. Now they can no longer sit 2-0 fastball, here it comes, and it's going to be a 4-seamer. Now you have to sit down. Is it going to be a slider? Is it going to be a changeup? Is he going to try and sneak the heater by me? It's just a matter of him getting more confidence. Look at, you talk about a fraternity. Look at the pitchers sitting there. There's the starting rotation just sitting down talking. What do you think? Is there a deck of cards down there or something I'm missing? I mean, those guys, they're sitting down there talking about something. Or maybe they're not talking. They're just spacing out on a beautiful day, wishing they were somewhere. Got Derek Lowe tomorrow, though. He's the starting pitcher to wrap up this series, who's off to a terrific start.
And the life of a starting pitcher,
greatest job in the world.
You're on the hot seat one day a week. The rest of the time, you're doing your side work and getting ready.
And having fun. Greatest job in the world.
I detect a little
bitterness.
To be
successful. No, I could have never been a pitcher. Are you kidding me? I would have been dead by the time I was 30.
Somebody would have killed you.
No, I was the type of personality that had to play every day. I couldn't go once every 5 days. I had too much energy.
The only thing missing from that picture is about 4 tall glasses of lemonade.
Lemonade?
Okay, maybe some summer shandy from Lonnie Kugels.
You got it. Don't be afraid to send a few helmets up to Matt and I. We'll see those guys waving back there. A couple of scoops of, what do you want, the coffee?
Oh, no.
You
What
want
did we have yesterday?
Cookie dough and moose tracks?
Yeah.
Strawberry. You name it, they have it.
Carlos Santana base hit his last time up, 1 for 2 on the day. Top of the strike zone, maybe. 1-1. Missed down low with it. 2 balls and a strike. There's a long fly ball, right
Just
field.
on the trademark.
And Dobbs will have it. 1 down. Our in-game recap brought to you by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers as Drupal Cabrera led off the 4th with a solo blast, his 5th of the year. And then in the 5th, Jason Kipnis with a sac fly brought home Shelley Duncan, the only other run of this game. Find out about more than 30 Toyota offers available now at buyatoyota.com. Michael Brantley 0 for 2. He's hit into 2 double plays. At the knees, a strike. Big bouncer to second. 2 away. And now Jose Lopez, who has singled in 2 trips to the plate here this afternoon. Lopez fouls it back. Getting to that point in the game, Rick, where those shadows have just about encompassed all of home plate. So if it's going to be an issue, you might start seeing some late swings by hitters.
Yeah, now the mound is partially that tower of shade. Landing area is still in the sun.
Hitters have always said it's tough to pick up the spin when those shadows start to creep in. 1, 2, 3 go the Indians. We go to the 7th, 2-0 try.
On top, the Marlins 2-0. If you don't have plans for Memorial Day, plan to be here at the ballpark with us. The first 15,000 fans will receive a free Justin Masterson replica jersey. That is May 28th, Memorial Day. And if you want to bring your family out, make sure to check out those KeyBank Grand Slam 4-packs. You can get 4 tickets, 4 Indians caps, food, and parking, guys.
Thanks, Katie. 7th inning. Giancarlo Stanton, 0 for 2 here today. Joe Smith now warming up in the Tribe bullpen as Gomez just made his 95th pitch of the afternoon. fans who may be wondering, hey, there used to be a guy with the Marlins named Mike Stanton. Well, this is him, Giancarlo Cruz Michael Stanton, his full name, and he had gone by Mike Stanton up until this year.
Well, in the month of May, he's had, they got to call him whatever he wants.
Mr. May.
May Stanton.
The 2-2. Almost chased after it. Little bit low, and it's ball 4. So once again, second inning in a row, Marlins get their leadoff man aboard. Let's go back to the Hyundai Studios right now for an in-game update with Al Pawlowski.
All right, Matt, let's go to Motown. Pittsburgh taking on the Tigers on Throwback Day, and this has been Andrew McCutchen Day in Detroit. He's hit 2 two-run homers. Here's his second one, his 7th of the season. Pittsburgh up on Detroit 4-2 right now, bottom of the 5th inning in Detroit. Matt?
All right, thanks, Al. And ball 1 down low. Santana's going to go out and talk with Gomez. I don't know, Rick, if he's just run out of gas here.
No, he's just going to tell him, don't start nibbling. Stay aggressive, trust your stuff, and get that ground ball double play. Only one time this year has Gomez given up the lead, and it was against the Texas Rangers where they tied the game, but he went on to win that game anyway. Other than that, anytime he has had a lead in a ball game, he's been able to hold it. And Manny's saying, okay. You go talk to him. Get yourself through this. We've got our bullpen ready to go.
See Dave Miller in the back there talking with Nick Hagedorn about potentially who he might be facing and were he to be called on. Warming alongside Joe Smith. Morrison, the left-hander here. Then the right-hander Sanchez, followed by a left-handed hitting Brian Peterson. Out of play.
Yeah, the one thing that you don't like seeing as a manager or a catcher is when you get late into the ball game and here you go, you want to walk guys. Give them an opportunity. Just give them free passes. That's what the Indians have done so well this year. You want to combat that with your pitchers and at least make them hit their way on.
He missed, and it's 2-1.
Looks like it broke the glove of Santana, the stringing. Or the webbing in that catcher's glove. He's checking it out, and that's exactly what it did. So give me plan B. Is it on the bench or is it in his bag? Someone's got to get it.
They'll give that to
one of
the glove doctor.
Yeah. Who's that, Marty?
Might be Michael Salazar. A lot of those trainers picked that up. There's
From
Jeff
the
Desjardins.
Is Jeff going to get? Well, he's looking at it. Hey, Mike, seeing you're here, you do it. They're looking at where it's broken with the leather, and they'll have to relace that. Looked like it was handed down to Michael.
2-1 count. There, it catches the outside corner and evens things up.
Nice little backdoor slider there. Hitters have a tendency to give up on that pitch. Because he has that good sinker, going down and away. This one starts away and off the plate, and it just stays right there.
The 2-2. And that came in low, full count.
Well, let's see if Ozzie Guillen wants to start his runner here. Stanton has one stolen base, been caught one time, but you have the full count. It's a 2-0 ball game. Obviously, if he feels that Morrison is going to put this ball in play, he's going to start his runner so you stay out of the double play, and they do have the shift on. 3 infielders on the right side of the infield, so I would expect him to start the runner.
Morrison has struck out and walked in his first 2 trips today. There's the set. Runner holds, and the 3-2 is strike 3 called. That's why he didn't start the runner.
You're right. It's a good thing he didn't start him because Gomez gets his 4th strikeout. And out comes Manny Acta. This looks like an off-speed pitch. Might have been a changeup on the full count. It locks him up. Nice pitch, 83. And he made sure he threw it for a strike. He didn't nibble. He went right down the middle, but he took something off of it, and Morrison couldn't pull the trigger. So Gomez's afternoon is finished, and nice job. Another very good second straight game. He's given up 3 hits.
3-hit shutout baseball for Gomez here today. Joe Smith coming on when we come back. Marlins have 1 on, 1 out, and Gabby Sanchez coming to the plate. He'll face Joe Smith on for the 18th time this year. 4 wins, a loss, ERA .306. He's walked 9, struck out 15, and 17 2/3 innings of work. And the pitch is low ball 1 to Sanchez, who has popped up, flied out in 2 trips today. Strike to the outside corner. Swung on and missed. 1-2 the count. He was swinging from his heels.
Yeah, he was trying to tie this game up. Might have been looking for that slider. Joe Smith would love to see a ground ball. Let his defense turn 2 and get out of the inning. Smitty came on in yesterday's ball game, got a ground ball right back to him in the first hitter, and ended up making a bad throw into the runner, and it cost the Indians a run after Tony Sipp walked the leadoff guy in that inning.
And he talked about it after the game. He didn't second guess his decision.
I didn't either.
Execution.
Yeah, no, he was absolutely right going back there. He had that guy dead to rights. He made the right move. He just, there it is.
Over his head, Cabrera will go to the bag, step on it, throw to first, double play, and the inning is over. Joe Smith gets the twin killer to end the 7th, and the Indians still lead it 2-0. Stretch time brought to you by the Cleveland Clinic, where every life deserves world-class care. Call 216-444-CARE for an appointment today. 7th inning. A look in from our Panini's camera. Get overstuffed at Panini's Bar and Grill. Another nice crowd here on a Saturday late afternoon start. 4 o'clock start time. Had a number of these this year scattered throughout the season.
You like it? Do you like a 4
I don't
o'clock?
know. I don't know
or
where
would you
I'm at
rather
yet.
have a 7? Would you rather have a 1? How does it fit into your schedule?
I don't know.
Okay, that's fair.
It just feels weird. You know, we're
programmed.
We're programmed to, 1 o'clock, 7 o'clock, and
3 days,
anything
not
else
2,
is weird.
Not 2 days, not 4-day road trips, or you're right. It is a program. We'll let you know on the second one.
Casey Kochman 1 for 2.
But if they win this one, it's going to go a long way in the
Sure.
voting. And right now they have a 2-0 lead, looking to add to it late in the ball game.
The 2-0. Ripped to first and foul. Not by much. Hey, tonight at 8, the Ohio Machine professional lacrosse team makes its home debut on STO. The Machine will host the Rattlers of Rochester. That's tonight at 8, live on Sports Time Ohio. Kochman taps it to short. Reyes off-balance throw gets him one away. Every home run hit this year by the Indians. Rick and I will donate $5 each, and Great Clips is donating $50 to the Gathering Place. Thanks to the Cabrera bomb earlier, we're up to over $2,000 on the year. Great needs, great deeds, Great Clips. Shelley Duncan 1 for 2 with a single and a run scored. Looks at a ball low and away.
There you go. He's laying off that slider now, getting the count and is hitting in his favor. Now just remain patient when you get the count in your favor.
Fouled back.
Well, he finally got a fastball to his leg. He put a good swing on it and fouled it back.
Grounded towards third. Nice spinning pickup by Ramirez,
Boy,
and he's able to throw him out 2 down.
Was it ever? Those are good hands right there. You can see off to the side that ball hit very hard. There's a second hop, and he just stays right with it. You know, that's another thing we didn't really talk about today. Here's a guy that was a great shortstop, has ended up making the transition over to third base, and maybe that could have something to do with his slow start offensively. You know, playing a new position, working harder defensively than he had to. But he's a good athlete. It'll fit in.
Chu tries to drop one down. Off balance, bare hand grab and throw. Pulled him off the bag. Going to be an infield hit for Chu with 2 down here in the 7th.
Well, I give Chris Conroy credit. He was right there. He was about 10 feet. And he said that Sanchez's foot was off the bag. And that throw, and Ramirez made a barehanded catch and the underhanded throw. Tough play. It'll go as a base hit, a bunt base hit. Let's see if the foot is. There's some space off the bag as Chu comes down. You can see.
Yeah, but he was off.
You see where he's at? He's got the perfect view.
Watch his foot. See, is it in contact with the bag?
No, it looks like it's off. It's off.
Yep.
That's a great call. Look at, he's about 2 inches off the first base bag. That's, to me, is a great call. He was in good position to see it. He saw daylight, obviously.
Jason Kipnis 0 for 2. Drove in a run with a sac fly his last time up.
Well, normally when you bunt with 2 outs and you're in that leadoff spot, he's got to go ahead and try and steal second base.
Chu has 5 steals on the year and another toss over. You know, the other thing about the bunt, Rick, is it's not like Ramirez was playing back. He was about even with the cut of the grass.
Ramirez had a good opportunity there because that ball was bunted a little hard.
Kipnis checks on the ball down and in.
Take a look again at where the foot is. I mean, it's about as close as we can get. We'll zoom in, and he's not on the base. See, that camera's behind it, so he's got to be 2-3 inches off the bag. It's a good call.
Another close play.
This guy looks like he does a nice job holding base runners and giving his catcher an opportunity.
Sanchez 107 pitches on the afternoon.
Yeah, he's quick to the plate, too. He doesn't lift his foot.
Season high was 110 pitches back on April 28th in a game against Arizona. Now Kipnis down on the count 1-2. Almost threw that one away. Kipnis with a grounder right at Gabby Sanchez. That'll end the inning. We'll go to the 8th, 2-0 Cleveland.
Is presented by the authority of the Cleveland Indians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians.
Eighth inning here at Progressive Field. Indians with a 2-0 lead. Vinny Pastano coming on for the 19th time this year. 1-0, 2.87 ERA. He's punched out 22. He's walked 6 and 15 2/3. He'll face the 8, 9, and 1 hitters for the Miami Marlins. And Aaron Cunningham has come on now for Shelley Duncan defensively in left field. Indians are trying to buck a trend in which this year they have lost 13 out of 16 when they score 3 runs or less. But when you get this kind of pitching.
Well, yeah, now it's up to the bullpen because Gomez, again, his second straight very good start. 3 hits in consecutive games. One was a 7-inning stint his last time out. Today, 6 1/3. Smitty came on to get the double play.
The pitch in there for a strike. While they only lead it 2-0, one trend that could continue if it holds up. The Indians are 16-0 when they out-hit their opponents, and they've out-hit the Marlins today 7-3. Brian Peterson has singled and grounded out here today. A little bit low. Former Indian Edward Mojica warming in the Marlins pen. Popped him up on the infield. Cabrera, the shortstop. 1 away. It's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. 2 for the price of 1. That's been big for the Indians in the last 2 innings. Gomez with a 1-6-3 double play in the 6th. And in the 7th, has Dribble Cabrera taking care of business. So back-to-back innings, the Marlins had their leadoff man aboard, and back-to-back innings wiped out by a double play. Now the 0-1. Good breaking ball in there for a strike. You asked me what I thought of the 4 o'clock start. Bottom line is, what do the fans think of it? And bigger crowd today than we had last night.
Obviously, seems like they liked it. What, just under 30, right?
Yeah, 29,799. A few
crowd.
more than we had last night. So very nice Saturday late afternoon crowd. 1-2 pitch. Up and away to even the count. Pirates still lead the Detroit Tigers 4-2 Pittsburgh. They're in the 7th at Comerica Park. 2-2. Caught the corner, and he is out looking. John Buck strikes out for the 2nd time today. And with 2 down, we go to the top of the order, and Jose Reyes.
Well, the first bobblehead giveaway of the season will take place tomorrow, and the first 15,000 fans through the gates will take home a Joe Carter bobblehead. Log on to Indians.com, get your tickets, or you can call 216-420-HITS. That seemed like Phil and Joe have had a nice weekend here in Cleveland, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Both have enjoyed it thoroughly. Capped off tomorrow, Joe will throw out the first pitch, and all fans, or the first 15,000, will get his bobblehead.
Good looking pitch. Called a ball. It's 2-0. Reyes 0 for 3 on the day. There's a strike in. It's 2-1. Almost nipped him. 3-1. Well, last night the Seattle Mariners got a shutout from Kevin Millwood. He beat Alex White. A couple of former Indians squaring off. Alex White now 0-3 on the year. And the Mariners have come back with 9 more runs today against Colorado. They lead that game late 9-3. Reyes grounds out, and for the 3rd time today, the Marlins go 1-2-3. We go to the 9th. 2-0. Indians are bottom of the 8th. Excuse me. Lead over the Miami Marlins, bottom of the 8th inning. Edward Mujica, one-time Cleveland Indian, will come on for the 20th time this year for the Marlins. Mujica pitched for the Indians big league club back in 2006, 7, and 8. Never had much success here. In 33 games, his longest stint with the club in 08. He went 3-2 with an earned run average of .675. But his salvation came when he switched to the National League. Mujica went to the San Diego Padres in 09 and in 67 appearances logged an ERA under 4. Backed it up with 59 appearances the next year with .362 ERA. Diving stop by Sanchez. And he'll flip to Mujica for out number 1. And then last year he went to the Marlins and in 67 games had a .296 ERA.
He's a sinker ball pitcher. And, you know, he goes at you and you hit it on the ground.
The box score brought to you by your Northern Ohio Hyundai dealers who invite you to see the 2012 Sonata. Visit NorthernOhioHyundaiDealers.com today. Home run by Cabrera and the sac fly by Kipnis. That's really been about it. The Indians had a tough time solving Anibal Sanchez. Hafner sends a lazy pop into center field. Here comes Peterson, and that's out number 2. You can win a $100 gas card courtesy of your Northeast Ohio Shell retailer and True North convenience stores. Just log on to STOHD.com to enter for your chance to win. One new winner will be picked each week from now until September 26th. Now Carlos Santana, who is 1 for 3. Santana singled in the 4th. And one more birthday wish that I had misplaced. Aaron Huff of Prescott, Arizona, celebrating his 29th birthday today.
All right, we've got Donnie and Ronnie Hayes of Cleveland turning 32.
Happy birthday to one and all. The 0-2 out of play. Chris Perez warming up in the Indians bullpen. And in the 9th, he'll be facing the 2, 3, and 4 hitters. Omar Infante, Hanley Ramirez, Greg Dobbs due up. CP ready to roll. Two-strike pitch, a little bit low. And he strikes out Santana. Indians go 1-2-3. We go to the 9th. 2-0 Cleveland. By Goodyear. Everything Goodyear has learned, making tires that go the distance, inspires what they roll into yours. Goodyear, more driven. Indians lead it 2-0. Chris Perez looking for his 13th save of the year. He'll face Omar Infante, then Hanley Ramirez, and Greg Dobbs scheduled to follow.
Yeah, you're going to have to go through the heart of the order.
2 runs, 7 hits, no errors, 6 left for Cleveland. No runs, 3 hits, no errors, 4 left for Miami. And a fastball strike in there at 95. Good breaking ball. So he goes with the express, followed by a little wrinkle, and he's quickly ahead. No balls, 2 strikes. Fastball at the knees, a little bit low. Shakes him off once. Another fastball, and he froze him. 1 down here in the 9th. I guess Infante was looking for a breaking ball.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's a low laser heater right at the knees. Good pitch.
Looked like it started away, too, and might have run back.
It had some movement to it, but, I mean, it was right at the knees and down in the strike zone and right on the plate.
Hanley Ramirez 1 for 3 today, and that was an infield single back in the first. Another low fastball for a strike. Fastball fouled back. CP going right at Hanley Ramirez. He gets ahead 0-2. This crowd of just under 30,000. The Indians with a brilliantly pitched game lead it 2-0 in the 0-2 pitch. Got him. Back-to-back hitters frozen by the fastball, and there are 2 down in the 9th. Our McDonald's, I'm loving it. Fastball, you gotta love it if you're Chris Perez and the Indians. Right down Broadway.
Boy, oh boy.
Ramirez just.
You know, is it tough to see now? That's what I want to know. Because both guys have taken fastballs. They were good pitches by Perez. 2 up, 2 down.
Greg Dobbs 0 for 3. Another fastball, and there's no mystery right now. He's thrown 1 off-speed pitch to get ahead of Omar Infante 0-2. Since then, it's been strictly fastballs. Slider, and he locked him. I mean, you couldn't have hit that no matter what.
7 called strikes in this inning.
Pinpoint control here today. 2 down. 0-2 pitch. Locked him up. Chris Perez strikes out the side. All 3 frozen at the dish. The Indians win it by a final score of 2-0. With the win, the Indians are now 23-17. They equal their season high 6 games above the break-even mark. Miami's loss drops them to 21-19. Winning pitcher Genmar Gomez, he is now 3-2. The loser is Anibal Sanchez. He drops to 2-2. And the save to Chris Perez, his 13th on the year. So the Indians get a big win here this afternoon. And even the series at a game apiece. It's time now for our play of the game, brought to you by KeyBank.
Well, let's go back to the 4th inning, and I'll tell you what, we had our guest, Bill Negro, in the booth. He was talking, and all of a sudden, as Drupal Cabrera comes up, gets a fastball up to his liking. It's his 5th home run that got the Indians on the board. That was their first run, and it was a big home run. And they go on to win this thing 2-0. So that was our play of the game.
Play of the game brought to you by KeyBank, the home of relationship rewards. Earn reward points and redeem for gifts. Well, let's go down to the field right now and join Katie Witham. She's standing by with Casey Kochman.
Well, Casey, this was really a pitcher's duel game today. Sanchez was tough out there on the mound, but you guys seemed to figure him out. Just what was he doing?
He was commanding the zone in and out and then expanding it. And, he's been tough all year. So luckily for us, Gomi was really good as well. And we got a couple runs on the board for him.
As Drupal Cabrera has been a rock in your lineup all season long, today comes up with his 5th home run. How good has he been?
Well, he's hitting big ones, too. He's not hitting them in, meaningless games. That's why he's an all-star, that Gold Glove defense. And, that home run was big there for us.
You mentioned Genmar Gomez today, 6 1/3 shutout innings. He kept this infield busy. Just how exciting is that to be a part of?
Yeah, we've been spoiled with the pitching. He's been good all year. He's keeping us on our toes, getting a lot of ground ball outs.
You're going to be busy tomorrow. Derek Lowe, another ground ball guy, and a chance to win the series with the Marlins. How important is that for this team right now?
It's big. They're all big. All the W's count the same, and we're just trying to rack up as many as we can.
Casey, big win today. Appreciate your time. Thanks.
Thanks for having me.
Guys, listen, back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Katie. So the Indians win for just the 4th time this year in 17 games when they score 3 runs or less. But because of that great pitching, they get the win 2-0. Time of the game, 2 hours, 26 minutes. The attendance, 29,799. For Rick Manning and Katie Witham, I'm Matt Underwood. The Conrad's postgame show is next.